Hello? Yeah. So, if you create a SAS program and have not assigned any permanent library, earlier we tried to assign a permanent library, right? If we don't assign anything, it will go and sit in this work library, okay? And what we have discussed already, if we end the SAS session, after that again you start the software, then this program will not be in the work library. We discussed this earlier, right? If we end this SAS session, it won't be in the work library as we discussed earlier, okay? Because it will only be there in work library as long as the session goes on, okay? What about permanent library? Permanent library, what are the permanent libraries? SAS user, SAS help, perm, yeah, yeah, these three, and maps also. Maps also will be there. In my software, it is not there, okay? Maps, all these are permanent libraries, okay? Those are inbuilt libraries. And also we can create a new SAS library by using SAS utilities or by writing the code. We have seen earlier how to write the code, but I will explain it now. Okay, let's see how we can create a SAS library by using a code. Okay, what I am going to do is I'll take this off. I'll take this off too. Okay, now let's create a library. We already discussed that we can create libraries by using which statement? Libname statement. Okay, libname. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. I forgot that. Sorry about that. Okay, now you can see it, right? Okay, now we are creating a library with libname statement. So we will give some name. Okay, the name of the library is Joel, and let's assign a path. Okay, let's go and take it from maybe local disk. Okay, let's create a new folder. Maybe name of the folder is Joel underscore 2. This is the name of the folder that we have created. Okay, now we are taking this path. Okay, take this path. Now copy paste it. Now I am pasting this path. Now semicolon, run the program. So now the Joel folder is Joel library is created. You can see it, right? Hello. Okay. So the Joel folder is created. Now we are writing the program. Okay. Let's take some example data. Maybe name, dollar. Why we are assigning dollar sign? Because it's a character data. Age and maybe gender. So we are assigning dollar sign again because it's a character data. Okay. Now cards, semicolon. Now give the observation values. For name, let's take Ruchika. Age 18, gender female. And now Soham 18, gender male. Okay. Now run the program. Okay. Proc print data is equal to, hey, I'm so sorry. Sorry, what did you say? Hello? Oh, your video got stopped? Really? Okay. Now you can see the screen, right? Okay. You know what? I have done a mistake. What? Here I have given data, but I didn't give the name. I just directly given this variable names. Okay, let's give some name to this data. What can we give? Let's give some name Lee. Okay. Hello. Okay. So the name of this data set is Lee. Let's input the statement input. Okay. So now proc print data equal to Lee. Run. This is how we did earlier, right? And we were looking why it's not coming, right? See, I'm going to run this program. Now we got the result. So everything got printed. Let's go and check the log window. Everything is correct. No problem. So no errors, no warning messages, okay? But let's go and see in the Explorer window. Our library name is Joel, right? Is there anything in the Joel folder? No, right? So if you actually want to print this data into the Joel folder, what we have to do is Joel dot Lee. That means, yeah, that means we are giving the library name here dot and name of the data set. So now it will print this data into this Joel folder. Can we try it now? Let's try it. Run the program. We got it here. So now you can see in the Joel folder. See, now you can see it, right? So it's clear. Now next move to the next thing. So this is how we give libname statement and create the libraries. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So now you understand, right, how we create library? What all you need to do is you just need to give this thing. Yeah, library name that we already created in the libname statement and the name of the data set. Okay. And everything is same. Okay. This type of naming is called two-level naming. Okay. This type of naming is called two-level naming because both dataset name and library name we are assigning. Here, see, we are assigning what? Dataset name and library name. So this is called as two-level naming. Okay. If we give only dataset name, then it is called one-level naming. Okay. That is which is stored in the work library. Okay. Now see, yes, if we don't give anything, see, now let's try this. Copy, paste. Now I am taking this off. Joel. Now I have taken this Joel off from here. Now I will run this program. Run. Now go to Explorer. Now look into, see, now here it's created in the work library. So this is one level naming. Okay. Okay. This is how we create libraries. This is one method of creating libraries. Now see the second method of creating libraries. Okay. Second method of creating libraries. So in yesterday's class, what I have told you, if I want to write anything in the editor window, what should I assign to this? I have to assign slash star and star, and you have to end with a slash. Okay, this is called comment. For this we have one shortcut. What it is means control plus slash. That is the shortcut for this. Now I will try control plus slash. Okay, control plus slash. Now I got it like this. Okay, now you go and type whatever you want. Okay, so this is if you want to type anything here, like if you want to create headings for your programs, like what you are on, which step you are on, it will be easier, right, to recognize where I am at. For example, Ruchika will watch the video later. Now it's easier for her. This is second method. This is the first method that we used. Okay. So for this, control plus slash is what? Shortcut. For this, to enter any comments in the editor window. Okay. Let's keep it inside. Okay. Now we will go and see the second method, how to create libraries. Okay. Now go to the libraries folder. Now right click. Now you can see this, right? New. Click on it. Now you can see what? New library. You can create it like this also. Okay. On the place of name, you should assign a name for it. Tell me which name I can assign for this library. Sorry. Okay. Let's give the name AAA. Okay. Now, where you want this library to be saved, let's go and browse. Yeah, let's go and save it in C. Okay. In C, where you want to do it? You want to save it in day 2, or you want to create a new folder? Okay, you want to create a new folder. So new folder name is maybe AAA underscore A. Okay. Let's give this path. Okay. Let's click on OK. Now your AAA folder is created. Okay. So if you end this session, if you can't be able to see this AAA folder automatically. Why? See, now we are working on this. If I end this session, you will be able to see again. If you open the Explorer folder, you will be able to see all these libraries, but you won't be able to see AAA folder. Why? No, while you are creating a folder, for example, see what I have done, new folder, right? Now I will create BBB. Now you have to enable at startup. Yeah, if you click on this, every time you open the SAS session, then you will be able to see BBB folder. Okay. Yeah, but if you didn't click on this enable at startup icon, then you won't be able to see. You have to go and get it back and you have to open it again. Okay. You got it right. This is how we create in another method. This is called menu driven process utilities method. Okay. Yes, this method is called menu driven process method. How we did? We just went to the Explorer window and we have given right click and selected on new, and we have given a name, and we have enabled as starter. We are clicking on this enable as starter. For why we are giving this enable as starter? For example, you are working on a project, you come next day to the work, and if you start the SAS session, it will be automatically there. Then you no need to go back to the folders and get it back to the SAS session. For that you have to waste your time, right? So in that scenarios, it will save your time. Okay. Okay. So this is how we create in another method. Now, 1 second. Now. What if you want, if there is a library, the data that is stored in your any computer, for example, a computer folder. So for example, let's see, I have SAS library. Okay, I have Anu and test file here. I want to bring this into my SAS session now, and I want to work on it. How can you do that? Did you understand what I'm saying? The data that is stored in your computer, any folder, to bring that data into SAS again, and you want to work. For example, you never always in your work, you never always create everything like this, and you won't work on that. What you can do is, always you will get some raw data from somewhere, from any other company or from some other department, and you are going to work on that. Okay, so that will be stored in any of your computer folder. Like for example, in your C disk or the local disk or in your desktop, anywhere. Okay. See, now I'm going to SAS practice day 1. I don't know what is in there. I'm not going to select it. I just need some data. Okay. So maybe I will select SAS lib. Okay. Okay. Now I want to get this data into my SAS because I want to work on that. Now what I'm doing, I'm copying this path. Now I want to bring that data into my SAS session. For that, what you need to do is same libname statement, libname, and what name you want to give it here. Now you want to get the data into a separate folder, separate library. What you want to give? What name you want to assign? Maybe ABC, ABCD. That is the name that you are assigning. Okay. Now give the path. We already copied it, right? Okay. Now run it. See, now our ABCD got created. Have you seen it? Now let's go and look into it. What is there? See, we got Anu and test file. That's what we had, right? From where did we got it? Local disk D, right? In SAS library. What we have, Anu and test. So both of them, we got it here in our library, right? Have you seen it? So this is how we bring new, data from our local disk or from your computer or from anywhere. Okay. What you have done, you have just given lib name, library name, and the name that you want to assign for this library and the path from where you are getting. Okay. Is it confusing for you? Okay. You are understanding, right? Okay. So SAS reads the data lines line by line, observation by observation. SAS every time reads the data lines line by line. First it starts from here and ends here, and from starts here and ends here. Okay. And observation by observation. And there are some rules for creating SAS datasets, names and variable names. Okay. Hello. Okay, let's do this. What is the shortcut for comment? For writing a comment? Very good. Control plus slash. Now you can type whatever you want here. See, now rules for dataset names or variable names. So we can also simply call as rules for creating SAS names. Okay. This one is simply can be called as rules for creating SAS names. So the names must be 32 characters long or less than that. Okay. Any name that you are giving for dataset names or variable names. See, this whole program, this is the program, right? This entire program, what we call, here we are giving the name, right? We are assigning a name, right? This is called dataset name, okay? And here in the input statement, whatever we are giving for the observations, these are called variable names, okay? You understand? Okay. So, whatever the names we give for dataset name and variable names must be 32 characters or less than that only. Okay. And it can be uppercase, lowercase, or mixed case because SAS is not a case sensitive. Okay. See, I can give like, I can write like this. Capital I, N, and I can write this program like this. See, I can give gender D, but now I will run the program. But still, you know what? SAS able to run the program. Okay, see, it got G over here, D capital. You can see that, right? Whatever I give, like it is not case sensitive. I have given the mixed cases. Like I have given I here, N here, capital, and capital G, D. Yeah, so you understood, right? So SAS is not a case sensitive. You can write anything, but for the purpose when we are submitting for some, when we are doing, it should look good, right? So that's why we do only in uppercase or lowercase or however you want. Okay, like if you want to give uppercase and then continue with lowercase, it's up to you. Okay. And it must start with letter or underscore. We already discussed this. Yeah, it must start with letter or underscore, but it never starts with numbers. Okay. Okay. So the subsequent characters can be letters underscores, or numeric digits. Hello. So, but it subsequent characters means, see, if what I'm giving, Lee. So I have started this with letters, and so whatever coming after the first letter, those are called subsequent characters. For example, I'm giving underscore 2. Now run the program. In the subsequent characters, I can give underscores, numbers, and letters. Okay, but letters will not start. But the name doesn't start with, yeah, yeah. Now see, still we got the program. Okay, you understand, right? Can I move forward? And we never give no special characters like dollar symbol, as whatever special characters. We never include any special characters. I mean, it never starts with special characters. Okay, let's look for some valid names and invalid names. Valid names. Underscore name. If we give it like this is valid. Okay, my underscore name. This is valid yet. Now zip 5. This is also valid. Okay, these are some of the examples for valid names. Let's look into invalid. What might be the invalid? If it starts with special character, hyphen. I'm starting it with hyphen. This is invalid. Okay, my name hyphen my. This is also what? Invalid. Yeah, because what we have discussed, it should start with underscore or letters. No special characters. Okay. Even you should not give space also. Even space can be considered here as special character. Okay, you understand? So now let's discuss about SAS program layout. Every SAS statement should end with semicolon, that we have already discussed. Okay, SAS statement can be in lowercase, uppercase, or mixed case. That thing also we already discussed. We can write multiple SAS statements in single line. You know what? We can write, see, this is one SAS statement. This is another SAS statement, right? You can write like this also. But why we are not writing like that? See, now run the program. Still we got the result. We can write multiple statements in single line. But we are not doing like that because it doesn't look good and organized, right? Even for our understanding, so we don't like write like that, but SAS can be done like that also. Okay, okay, now SAS data values, variable values, and data types. Let's look into control slash now look into SAS data values, variable values, or data types. Now look into this, okay? So there are two types of data. What are those? We have been discussing. We are having two types of data. One is character data. One is character data and the other one is numeric data. Is that correct? Numeric data, okay? So for character values, default length is 8 bytes. So for character value, the default length will be 8 letters only, okay? 8 characters. See, for character value, this is character value, right? Ruchika is a character value. How many letters we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 characters. But the limit is 8. What if we increased it to more characters? See, now we will see. Let's run the program now. Maybe I'll try with this one. That will go to another one. Okay. Now I have given more than 8. Let's see what will happen. Now I'm running this program. What happened? How many we got? Let me run it again. It didn't give me the correct results. This automation. Okay. Let me try to change the name so that it don't think the same data set is same program is running. Okay, let me give some different name. Rainy. Now run the program. Let's try now. Okay. Yeah. Now run the program. Now you got it, right? How many characters you got? 8 characters only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But how many characters we have given? More than 8. But we didn't get it. So SAS defaultly can give you the length is 8 characters. But what we have to do if we want, if for some people there will be like a very lengthy name, right? For example, my husband name is Ravi Kiran Papani. It's a like very lengthy name. How can I do that? In this case, you have to give a length statement. Okay, let's do it here. Length, where we wanted for this variable, right? Name, dollar. You have to assign some number, like how many. For example, I will give 20 characters, 20 dot semicolon. Okay, you no need to give whatever there is, like you no need to always count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, now I have to give 13. It is not possible, right? You will have like millions of data on single file, single data set. But so it's not possible every time you can count and give. So I gave something like 20, or you can give also 30 also. Okay, now run the program. Now you will get everything. Run the program. See, now you got full name. Did you understand this? So SAS by default it have for character value, how many characters? 8 characters. We call it as 8 bytes. 1 second. Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. I'm getting a call. Hello. Ramesh, చెప్పు రమేష్. యా పర్లేదు, నేను ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను. నేను నీకు వీడియో సెండ్ చేస్తానులే. బాయ్. Sorry for that. Yeah, one of my friend also wants to join the class, but he didn't wake up. So that's why he is calling. We missed Richika also in this class, but we can't stop class for everyone every day, right? For some reasons. So that's why I'm continuing. But anyway, she will have recording, right? She can watch it. Yeah. So now you understand, right? Character value default length is 8 characters. We call it in SAS as 8 bytes, but it can be increased up to 32,767 bytes by length statement. Okay, by length statement it can be increased up to 32,767 characters. 1 byte is equal to 1 character. Okay, so 1 byte is equal to 1 character. And it can be increased up to 32,767 bytes. Okay, so for character variables, it no need to be contained purely characters only, but it also can contain letters, numbers, special characters, and blank spaces. So when we are assigning a character value, see now what I will do is 9. Now I will enter this 9. Now I will run the program. Let me see whether it comes or not. I got 9, right? So when we are giving character value, it no need to be just character values. It can also contain numbers, special characters, and blank spaces. Okay. Now this is about character data type. Okay. What all we have seen? The default length is 8 characters, but we can increase it up to 32,767 characters by giving length statement. Okay. Now numeric data type. Numeric data type. Now see about numeric data type. So the default length for numeric data type is 12 digits. Okay, that is the normal format. After that, it will read it in electronic form. Let's see. See what we have here. How many letters? Just 2 letters, right? But the default length is only 12 digits. What happens if it is like this? You want to see? Let's run the program. Run the program. See, now what it is showing? 1.9 E22. E22. This is called electronic format. What it did? 1.9. It means it's having another 22 characters. I mean 22 new numbers. Its default length is 12 digits. Let me try less than 12 digits. Now what happens? You can see the difference. See, this is my number now. Now I am going to run this program. What I got? I got the entire number. What if I have more than 12 numbers? See, it gives you result in electronic format. Okay, that means there is 14 numbers. Okay, and for for character data, I have told you that it won't be like only character. It's not be like purely character data. It can include letters, numbers, special characters, and blank spaces. But for the numeric data, it's not like that. It has to be only purely numbers. Okay. Do you like to try giving some character? Let me try this. What will happen now? Run the program. What you got? Dot. You didn't get in that place. That means let's go in, check in log window. What happened? It's showing here as error. Have you seen it? Error is equal to 1. Okay. Age equal to dot. Now change it to. So it has to be always only numbers for numeric data. Okay. If you want to give character data, what you have to do? You have to include $sign. Got it? Okay. So we have the two types of numeric values. One is standard numeric values and the another one is non-standard numeric values. What is standard numeric values? Example 23, 45, 78 or 23.908. This is all standard numeric values. What is non-standard numeric values? Standard numeric values means it contains only numbers or decimal points. Okay. And it contains minus or plus signs. What? See, minus 45. Also a standard numeric value. So, what is non-standard numeric values? Can you give some examples? Any non-standard numeric value? Sorry? Character value? Oh, standard numeric value. Standard numeric value means it's very simple. It's like a normal numbers. What kind of numbers you have? Just this is, we can say, like positive 23 plus 23, and this is also positive 45 plus 78, and this is 23.908. This is minus 45. So the standard numeric data contains only numbers, and this is called as decimal points, plus sign and minus sign. Okay, but whereas in non-standard numeric data, it contains like dollar 3.78. Here what we got? $sign. So this is non-standard numeric data. How we mention time? Like this, right? This type of data is non-standard numeric data. Or else 12 January 2020. This is also non-standard numeric data. So non-standard numeric data which includes values that contain special characters. What is the special character? Dollar is the special character. Semicolon is the special character. Slash is the special character. Okay. Such as dollar sign, commas. We can include commas also. For example, see $23, 00 means $23,000, right? So comma also included. Date and time values. This is time value, right? This is date. These two are date values, right? Okay. So if the numeric values are like this, these can be called as non-standard numeric data. If it is like this, then it is called as standard numeric data. Okay. So let's revise this numeric one more time. Like it gets stored as normal numeric value till only 12 digits. Okay. And after that gets stored in electronic format. That's what we have seen earlier. You understand up to here, right? And standard numeric data is numbers, decimal points, number. Yeah, that is correct. And non-standard numeric data is special characters, commas, character values, dates, okay, and time. This comes under non-standard numeric data. Okay. Up to here, our second class is finished. So, would you like me to start day 3 class also? If you are interested. I didn't get you. Oh, you have class from 10 a.m. So it's already 9:15. Okay. We will start it tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Soham. Now you will be able to do entire assignment and finish it all the assignment and submit it back to me. Okay. So you will be able to do day 1 and day 2. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Help Ruchika if she have any questions. Okay. Okay then. Bye.